democracy for news, views, and entertainment.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
From we New Englandville studios. Good morning and welcome to the midweek edition of the program Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today na Wednesday, November 27th, 2019. We were they bring the program come to you this Wednesday morning. Mina Khadija Bangora.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this edition of the program Good Morning Salone, the Member of Parliament for Constituency 046 na Kwenadogo District, Honorable Daniel Koromadon call on the Speaker na Parliament, Honorable Cherno Abbas Bundu, for begin take action against Member of Parliament them when King Grigo Parliamentski sitting. The new Minister of Labour and Social Security, Alpha Timbo, say by 2020 the ministry will pull one that Tanado, where it say go show the number of people we not get work all over the country for help the government and development partner them for no outside them for focus for reduce unemployment.
Well, this
and today inside the program, Radio Democracy will talk to the press secretary in our State House, Yusuf Keke Thomas Sandy. We will talk about the reason we make President Biyono sign the 2020 Finance Act and don't send them go back na Parliament.
Well, this and plenty other story them then at the program for you this morning, plus the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Sam Kimbrema, say the over $28 million financing agreement with the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, don't sign with Salone government, go support over 5,000 rest farmer them na Salone. And work about safe inside the program for you this morning. Remember, say you listen to we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl, courtesy of Osiwa, powered by AfriCell. The program na Good Morning Salone. If you dey listen to we on radio, send message on 077-981-981. Ask question, comment on any of the issues them where we can discuss na the program this morning. If you dey watch we live now Facebook page, also drop your comment, ask your question on the issues them we dey talk about inside the program this morning.
The first issue we will look at the program this morning for give young women them the platform for begin take leadership position for politics and governance and society. Make the social enterprise development send Salone with support from UN Women and Irish Aid don't pull one project Nado we name promoting young women's participation in leadership network. Also the director for Universal Access to Development Fund, Marie Momosi, young people them for done ready for take up this challenge before them go take leadership position them in our society. It talk this way, it be they give the keynote address for police projects na dona Kenema district this PNSM. Also Elizabeth Campbell Binde and Gona reports.
The project titled Promoting Young Women's Participation in Leadership Network, where send Salone the implements na the Eastern region. Now for give opportunity to young people between the age of 18 to 35 years, as well for develop their mind in leadership. Where it talk about the importance of this launch, the chairperson for the Kenema Women's in Governance Network, Fatma Tadasama, say this na for create platform for young women them for get more sabi on how for take leadership position.
Of this project promoting young women participation in leadership, the purpose of this meeting is to mobilize and create a platform for our young women groups and lead local organizations to network, mentor, and mobilize resources to enhance their participation in leadership in the Eastern region. The project, Young Women in Governance Network, is targeting 18 to 35 years. So you see what Sen have done? We are here to inform all stakeholders in the Eastern region who have the power to support and promote the young women in diverse ways, pledge their total commitment for a sustainable and successful outcome of the project.
Madam Dasama advised the young women them we been the part of this process for all this project with to earn and a call for more support from women them.
This coming 2023, young women coming up for parliamentarian position, coming up for district chairman position. Come out in your numbers for this position. On behalf of the Kenema Women in Governance Network, to thank Sierra Leone, who are leading this Leadership, UN Women, Irish Aid for their tremendous support.
Joseph Ayamga, na the country director for Send Salone, and on the champion woman business na salon from 2004, say most of the bad governance where they happen na salon, na because woman them not a part of decision making.
It is evident in the recent meeting between the two main political parties in the country for peace, when two presidents were present, when all the political leaders were present, when all the people who matter to decide for this country were present. The only person who was not present in that meeting was the woman. Do you remember that? The meeting between APC and then SLPP, the inclusivity that is needed in politics is not present because the woman is outside the system, and all the corrupt practices, the bad governance, and the other development challenges that we have in this country is because we don't have. Part of the solution is because we don't have more women represented.
The country director for Send Salone, Joseph Ayamga, say the country gets more women them way capable for represent them people. So he says take all of them for create the opportunity for women them for be part of decision making process.
Despite the obstacles that we have, despite all the challenges that we have, I still believe that women are strong. I still believe that women have the power. Women, especially young women in Sierra Leone, they exhibit a lot of confidence, determination to overcome barriers to enhance responsible citizenship.
As this project therefore promotes young women's participation in leadership, one student where they study in a polytechnic in Kenema district, Maria Manan Sifeka, be make presentation on the importance of young women in leadership.
Inequalities and discrimination remain deeply entrenched in Sierra Leone, from the household level to the national level, in all aspects of life. The education of women is therefore important as it provides cognitive skills and civil awareness that will keep women immobilized and compete in leadership. They also are better informed about politics and their rights to political participation. That it is high time that we, the young women, rise up, try to educate ourselves, try to be creative, and try to aspire for women positions.
The UN Women representative inside in talk is say the young women they are from the age of 18 to 35 years for take advantage of this project for develop their capacity.
On behalf of the country representative, Madam Kumu, let's take advantage of this program. Let's just not take it as a show, a time to wear a beauty shirt, a time to dance on the street. I'm sure we'll be taking notes. What the speaker has been saying, we will absorb. Today is one of the events. The program has a longer lifespan, and I want to wish you all a success.
Where Idegi in keynote address, the director for Universal Access to Development Fund, Marie Momo, say young people them for don't ready for take up challenge before they go able for take leadership position.
Participants, our young women, are you ready to transform Sierra Leone if given the opportunity? Yes. Good. Then my questions to you are these. How have you defined yourself? How have you profiled yourself? Who defines you? Is it society or yourself? I encourage you to define yourself, because when you actively define who you are and you embrace that decision of who you are for the rest of your life, then you will touch people and you will impact people. This is the roadmap to leadership.
Madam Marie Momo carry on say, Send Salone and them partner them. They do this for create network of young women them between the age of 18 and 35 years in the country.
Send Sierra Leone and collaborating partners anticipate for you after they would have gone through all of the empowerment program. They want to be able to do the following: to create a network of young women between the ages of 18 to 35 to increase their participation in leadership, to mobilize and network young women-led organizations and groups across the country. They want to be able to develop the competency of young women socially, economically, and politically, so that they will be able to participate in decision-making processes.
Other speaker them like Woman Paramount Chief, Chairman of Council na Kenema, Ministry of Education, and other one them be make their own contribution inside the program. For Radio Democracy, Mina Elizabeth Campbell the reports.
We continue with the program, Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. Well, if people can remember this BNTM, The Ministry of Finance and the National Revenue Authority (NRA) been carried the Finance Act for 2020 in a Parliament, so that member of Parliament them go look inside this act, debate them, and self pull some panditin them where they feel say no for the inside this particular act. Well, member them na Parliament been passed this act into law, and from that plenty debates don't they come about this act. Usai civil society activists them don't they raise objections, say the area we talks about the president, vice president, and the speaker in Parliament in impressed not for the inside the Finance Act of the year 2020. This will make some civil society organization them with a call on President's bill not for sign this act. Well, yesterday the president been send the act back na Parliament. Also, he not been agree for sign them and say Parliament for amend that particular area day because in believe say in government for get account for any public funds where it they use. Well, for can't tell we more, but some party reason them we make president's bill not been agree for sign this particular act and he send them back na Parliament. Now the studio I want for welcome Yusuf Keke Thomas Sandy in the press secretary in the State House. Good morning, Mr. Sandy.
Good morning, Khadija. Good morning, Mabel. Good morning, 98. Good morning, family with the listen, and I'm glad for your tune.
All right, just like I don't give the background. So many controversy don't they around the Finance Act of 2020. This being where civil society, members of Parliament, and other people and been called on presidency letting us sign this particular bill. And yesterday we see a press release come out in the State House say the president not been agree for sign them. He send them back in Parliament. First of all, take me through the stages where the president go through this particular act and decide for take this decision.
Well, thank you very much once again. And then I feel say I will start for going a context and a background. And like what you say, from Usai we start and waiting lead we for make the president make this decision. Now, I want to start by saying that since we president be the campaign as a candidate for the highest office of this country, and up until now we don't be president, it always be guided by 5 core values and principles. Now, the first core value we get and the principle we believe in, it believes say that transparent governance is something very key. So unlike before, we say boku thing they happen by yuki business, thing they happen by hide. We feel say this na president we believe say everything will be transparent. In fact, now MXF now we dey even get this discussion in debate about interest for president. Because before now we not be even get this debate. So that is one. Then secondly, we get a president we also believe say they believe in fiscal management of state resources, prudent management. We mean say where you own public office, public money, you all am in trust on behalf of the people of this country. And as a result of that, you will always be cognizant how you spend now. But most importantly, we also remember say during the campaign, we be there as candidates for SLPP. It be wage war on wastage, fraud, and also things that were very important for how to manage the resources. And part of that also get to do with wastage, fraud, and abuse. But beyond that, the fourth thing we president really care about, we na in core, na adherence to the rule of law. We mean say every action we elect for take, we go one for take in this country. It go always one for make sure say it guided by the law and statute we parliament can make. But lastly, now we believe in democracy because this is about government of the people, for the people, and by people. We mean say part of the discussion we get, people and voices get for be heard. We got to get a participatory democracy where they can go to the parliament, people and get reaction to them. They got to listen. And now a listening president. So now make it there. But make I just apply them principle there to Usa come out. Now when the president come, we inherit an impress system where most like waiting Honorable Tawa said last time. Part of waiting inherit now that we get successive leaders, them heads of state, they will be the carry, they get billions in impressed. But what he do? It cuts them down to 1/4, 25% of which they get because he fiscally prudent. But you know only stop there. Part of the impress system also get for deal with international travels. Now when you deal with international travels, there are many things that they consider. This is nothing way people not really discuss, they don't know about. So the motivation for ensure say we run a presidency and a government very transparent, we get the Finance Act. so then put am part of the Finance Act. Now, Section 48 of the Constitution talks say about incident of office. So may I quote am for you. It talks say the president shall receive such salary and allowances as may be prescribed by Parliament. When means say Parliament now gets the responsibility for deal with waiting president for receive either salary or allowances. So the procedure was then put am part of the act from where they can go to Parliament. Now Parliament don't debate am. When Parliament debate, they don't pass am. But like participatory democracy, people and save them voice give for be heard, people reacted to it. So what happened? We get different opinions. There were some where obviously the thing say it was right, but majority of the people raise concerns, legitimate concerns. So
just like how you say, most people be this feel say it right, and some be end up raise concern. Again, the blame go back to the government and the experts, them, the Ministry of Finance and the National Revenue Authority, we normally can put together this particular act. Is it that the president not be aware of this particular clause before they send on a parliament turn it into law, and the people them we can vote them in end up pick them up say no, this is not good for we democracy, is not good for accountability? The president not care aware of some of the laws them where a ministers then can pass before they can go to parliament.
Well, one thing always clear, like I said to you, there were two things. The first thing was that we want to get transparency around this particular impress. We're really important. But also, secondly, now the fact say you also want to get a president who is guided by the law, waiting the law say because of posterity. Now, as a result of the incident, the important thing is when Parliament when are the responsibility for discuss down at Section 48 say when they discuss them pass the act. We opting on a bill, but the reaction of people like I say, some say it's fine, some say not fine, but the majority say not fine for one legitimate reason. Because we don't know, say, for 11 years, we're in this country, people will not be aware about how impressed the electing they go. But we'll discuss it now, when a good thing for democracy. So those concerns the way they raise are legitimate one. Part of it now that this thing too open-ended, na carte blanche, we mean say is subject and very prone to misuse. So president, like I say, now somebody where, as far as he's concerned, now a very good listener. Now somebody where it follow, so he follow the debate, he look at them, and then think say, and for act what is the best interest of the people of this country. Right, so and I make it think say, he go find, make it send them back, make them put cap and seal him param.
So at this point of the debates where the president don't send and go back na parliament, waiting the president think but the person we sit down now the Ministry of Finance as minister, taking into consideration and oversee this kind of thing, and the president say one thing and one for senior government now transparency and accountability, a whole minister sit down, then carry documents at parliament, we get then kind of thing and we the president don't send so back. What did the president think about this?
Well, me want to make we pass the debate beyond a particular minister.
But now ain't oversee him.
Yes, but like I said to you, I'll pass the debate beyond that.
Why?
Because there are two important things. The first thing, by the fact say the president, he get a choice when the act comes for make a concur and sign, or what you do so, listen to what people and say not legitimate concerns. Now, what happened at the Ministry of Finance was that it's part of all transparency process. Because if you got an impress system, in fact, the facts have say the technocrats and the Ministry of Finance put up by the act means say they want for make to get a transparent impress system. That impress system will be guided by the law. So it's a good motivation.
So it's a good motivation. It's a good motivation. So why the president not left him? He don't send him back na parliament. If not good motivation, like how you see, the way they left and say for be open.
Because like I said to you, this not a president way, not a listening president. Although you forced them this way, at the camp maybe at the camp. Although you forced them this way, see not the happy way don't generate public debate with president they react. So remember say the last time back.
But this one a very special one.
Yes, but what they say is at the time also the first time this president they react positively to people concerns the way they raise. Remember say the time back we fantastic commissioner at ACC, we put people on a country where president give your opinion because section of the people at the country feel say it was not right. So what they say is very simple. Say when the bill don't go to parliament don't discuss them. Now, Parliament composed of different members of Parliament from different parties. In their opinion, they feel say it was a good thing. But the public, because it's not participatory democracy, people then get forget part of this democracy. People express their opinion, and some out of politics because illegitimate.
Right.
Because when you get because when you get 11-year system, Usai, you get an impress will not be even subject to the knowledge of people. People don't understand what's in the happen. People have even praise government that we get this debate today.
Yeah,
so the fact that they can't go there, if a president say they open for transparency, or for be guided by the law. But the president not making a decision.
Yeah, don't making decision. But I want to go back to Usai, the documents come out. In any partner the discussion before the president take this decision, it been ever mentioned but concern where it gets we make the ministry include them for Senango Parliament?
It's all part of the transparency. Like I said to you, we not for Sidona so and talk about impress. For 11 years, we not talk about impress. When they spend billions, they spend millions, we don't talk about impress. But today, because the president believes in transparency, we get impress discussion. Today, because he believes, say, we for act by the law, now make it go parliament. But now democracy, people don't give them voices, they don't hear them. President don't listen because he care, he concern. So therefore, he say, you not go sign this until
you know answer my question. But let me just listen to this break and we will come back to you. The program Good Morning Salone continue. Let me listen to this short message.
It's our future. Let's write it.
It's our future. Let's write it.
Salone they develop new national youth policy.
Yes, now Salone government through the Ministry of Youth Affairs and then partner them. Day before, and yourself can join them.
The new national youth policy go guide government and in partner them, support the young people them for the next 5 years, and they want to make it give you idea for develop this policy.
So young people and people we want to see young people develop na Salone can join this process.
If you na young person or want to see young people them na Salone develop, you can add your voice to this process and for do so na for text the word join to 2018 na Orange or Africell network for free and join new reports.
The new national youth policy na chance for shape the country in future.
The new reports na side for talk but still the way you believe say important for young people then development na Salone.
Make we hear your voice. Involve yourself for develop the new national youth policy. Join new reports and text join to 2018 na Orange or Africell mobile network for free. It's our future. Let's write it.
The program we listen na Good Morning Salone, they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get Yusuf Keke Thomas Sandy, when at the press secretary in a State House. There this morning, they talk about some of the reasons them we make President Bio not being agree for sign the Finance Act of 2020, and yesterday they been sent them back na Parliament for amendment. Mr. Sandila, come back to you. Now the area of this particular act, normally any Finance Act or any other act, then they discuss them first na cabinet, and the president na the chairman for cabinet. During this discussion, President Bio no be ever make objection to this particular clause until where the people them can raise objection, say this particular clause no go help in the area of accountability before the president send them back na Parliament. So if people will not be raise objection, it means say President Bio for don't sign this particular act and then begin implement them.
Well, democracy in a government of the people, for the people and by the people. We know for the past 11 years there were many decisions the way the former head of state take, people that take na public office their way, people then go cry then go talk for instance when they sack and Samsumana. People then talk then say it be illegal, it be this, but they don't listen. So the fact that we get president where they listen, presidents will care, presidents will want transparency. I mean, we will appreciate.
So if
because
the people
it's good for democracy.
Mr. Sandy, the
but
question
make I just, yes, but make I just
if
talk
people
to the
not be
question
raise objection about this particular area and the act, the president for don't simply sign them and then begin implement them.
So your president, like I say, always very circumspect, very thoughtful. So at every time they make decision, they reflect on many things. Then the motivation behind taking this impress to Parliament was very simple. Two things. One, President will make sure say we get transparency around this impress system. And we appreciate that for gladly because it's a good thing. For 11 years, Khadija, you didn't so you ever about impress? You ever discuss impress one day?
So in as much as they encourage
but secondly, like Amabel, secondly also, he wants for make we guided by the law because it's important. Because we go get somebody where after president will come there and we say he wants to spend 60 billion for travel. Nobody don't know. And not they spend no more. So now Parliament they discuss that one, they make an act. And now he don't talk say he wants ceiling. Well, also they show you say this is not possible belief say we for spend public funds very prudently and forget cap. Not give you like way in normally can say you spend like drunk in sailor. You just spend no more, you just spend like what happened before.
Alright, so this issue of this impressed. Now the first time we President Bio CM, the time we then carry and go for less sign and the first time anyway is CM.
Well, obviously there have been discussions around it. And also part of that discussion also means say, like I said, the president care about.
Yeah, you don't say that earlier, but now the first time Dandy for let is CM, we then send them for let sign them.
Yes, of course, because now the first time it come on at the well of Parliament as an act. And
so what about the previous discussions we talk about, say, discussions be done there around them?
So the discussions were there around the president, like I said to you, in commitment about transparency. So if you come with, Khadija, if you come with a system and you say you want to make things a bit transparent, you want to act by the law. What you go do, you go make sure say you use the procedure laid out. The reason why we get all this discussion are because in the past, we don't even talk about impressed. People that they spend billions and billions of loans, you don't even know. But now, at least, because the president is transparent, you believe in democracy, people that make them voice them be heard. Wow. CSOs them, and sometimes it's not political, illegitimate. And because illegitimate, president don't listen and feel say that the right time. It's not great for democracy. Great there also for leadership by example. Because if you say the first accountability, if you say the first for make sure say we spend public money prudently, you get for live by that one day.
Now 1.0 I want you make clear whether or not then previous discussion them you be the talk about say bidondi. Then be there before the act the bill they gonna parliament. Then be there before the bill gonna parliament.
Yes, discussions they're always there.
The president be aware of them discussion and they around the impress.
Yeah, yes, because the point is the motivation. So this is the
aware.
Point. At the Camibel. The point is, I don't make we reduce this debate or reduce this discussion to one minister.
Now the issues that we need for be cleared.
Okay, so I want to clear the issue for you. The president has been motivated by the issue about transparency and for guided by the law, because if feels say one. Before now, there were no discussion about transparency.
You don't say this. So just not ask the question also you go respond to them.
Yeah.
You said the president be aware of an enemy they discuss. So why then still left and they encourage on a parliament?
Because section 48 says that parliament in duty for prescribe what they call incidents of office. Where now then go decide what the president is allowing allowance.
Mr. Sandy, even
so now waiting the law say.
Mr. Sandy, even where it in a cabinet level, according to you, the president they frown at the want for push transparency, accountability in as chairman of cabinet. He get right for pick certain things them where he feels they not supposed for them at the act because they know they promote transparency even before it go parliament for approval.
No, but the facts have say it go parliament. Because presidents will make it become transparent. Otherwise, enough for even go cabinet in the first place. President for just day na state house, and then like what they do before, previous heads of state them billions and billions that they spend on travels. We not for even get this discussion. But the fact say even go cabinet, we for praise presidents for that.
So as
the facts have say even people are with the discussion now, we for praise president of that. Because the vital importance is in future we not get any head of state where the law not be regulated by the law, we just go decide say I want to spend 6 billion or 60 billion for travel for go Jamaica.
So quickly before we take this commercial break, as a government, we accept say mistake be happen and error happen from the experts them, the Ministry of Finance.
Well, I don't want to take say na mistake or error. The fact is, when people do something, you look at what's not the intention. People who are motivated by good faith and not bad faith,
so now
and not malice. So therefore, because of the good intention we then get for transparency and for making sure we get act for regulate this, I think so for president.
Waiting at the transparency for put a particular clause na a law where the people and they come back and kick against.
No, the transparency is me and you they actually we talk about impress. 11 years Khadija under APC. If you ever talk about impress na radio, no. People that they spend money, so you need to talk about that one day. So the facts that we talk about and today. if you praise the Ministry of Finance, if you praise the President, but also if you praise democracy, because we don't get a president when I list in president, I'm going to show leadership by example.
Continue for the between at the studio, Yusuf Keke Thomas and the press secretary in State House. The program Good Morning Salone, they continue. Time from the studio clock, now 8 a.m. we take the short commercial break and continue the program.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Edsalight, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all your supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
We continue with the program Good Morning Salone, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We where they bring the program come to you this Wednesday morning. Mina Khadija Bangura
and Mabel Kaba.
We they continue with the program and we they take one per we headlines to read them now. Also remember them na Parliament. According to Honorable Daniel Koma, for be good example to the citizen them. This make a call on the Speaker na Parliament, Honorable Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, for pay attention to member them we not can agree for go parliamentary sitting. He talk this na the Well of Parliament Tuesday, November 26 this year, because plenty member them na Parliament not been go for look inside different agreements them where them for begin debate. Princess Spears gets more and a gonna report.
Plenty people on the raise concern, but our member of Parliament them can late and some time not can go for sitting at the Well of Parliament. Then people in concern not being different by one of the concern them where them be talk about na the board declaration. Where this make the honorable member for constituency 04C inside Koinadugu district, Honorable Daniel Koma, been draw the attention of the Speaker, but member of Parliament them we not can go for sitting.
The Speaker has stated earlier, it seems as if no change is taking place in respect of discipline of members of this noble house. And I always say this, we need to live by example. But being an MP doesn't make you superhuman. We are not. So as humans, representatives of the people, we are not above discipline. Otherwise, this parliament is getting down, down, and down under your watch. But even after almost 10:30, there is almost still not a quorum. Almost. I don't think that is good for Sierra Leone Parliament. And you've ordered the last time that it should be, all proceedings must be made public, which is very bright. And the public attention is also international. But look at our sittings. On all sides, it's not good. So you will rule on that as to the necessary provisions or what to do next. But I want to make it clear that we are still not satisfied.
But this concern, now one way the acting leader of government business na Parliament, Honorable Matthew Sanyuma, been supports.
We are representing people. We are honorable men and women who believe we should live up to the task. We should change the phase of what we are doing. We have to bring our ways to speed. They need to do their job because there is so much indiscipline in Parliament, and we should lead by example. People don't have respect for their leadership. You tell them what to do, they do something different, and we have raised this point over and over. Mr. Speaker, you have addressed or admonished on several occasions, but we have failed to listen. And let me tell you, 4 years down the line, we'll face electorate, and they will judge us based on our behavior. So I urge members, it's a clear enshrine in the Constitution, Section 97 of the Constitution, our behavior, even in the chamber, around the Parliament, out of Parliament. So with all what you are carrying, we are honorable members, it's not by title, it's what you do. So, Mr. Speaker, I just feel you have to do more so that we can put proper measures in place.
How the leader for the Coalition for Change, C4C Party, Honorable Sir Emerson Lamina, been thinking about this issue where Honorable Daniel Koma been raised.
The outcome of the board declaration, which I believe also have some aspects of discipline, be brought to the plenary, discuss detailed, take content to heart, so that this anomaly will not continue to this house in as much as we consider ourselves as public servants.
But for sake of them concern here, we member of parliament them don't raise, make the speaker, Honorable Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, say he go talk to the leadership na the different political party them for talk to the member of parliament them for the attend sitting.
I thank the leaders for their kind sentiments. I presume, honorable members, that the sentiment around the room is that we move from platitudes to sanctions. I repeat, is it the sentiment around the House that we now move on this particular issue of lateness, that we move one step further from platitude to sanctions? If so, then let me hear you say it.
Mr. Speaker.
In your usual fashion. In your usual fashion.
Mr. Speaker.
That is the general sentiment of the House.
As all this they be, the Speaker, Dr. Cherno Abbas Bundu, say Parliament go look back inside the Finance Act 2020, where then just pass this being term, for address the concern them, we don't come up on the impress section, where they talk about the Vice President, President and the Speaker, not forget accounts of the money, where then they spend, where then they travel.
It will interest you to know that we have received the reaction of Mr. President to the Finance Act 2020. And the response that we've received from him would require us to revisit that particular provision dealing with the unaccountable interest, which has aroused so much interest both in and outside of this House, before we conclude and rise for Christmas, so that that act can come into force as from the 1st of January 2020. The date when we shall take up the necessary amendment or consequential amendment based on the letter we've received from Mr. President will be announced to you in due course.
We then concern here, we don't come out from plenty people about the 2020 Finance Act. Plenty people wait for see the amendment where Parliament gets for make to this section. For Radio Democracy, Princess Pierce the reports.
The program is still listening to on our Good Morning Salone. In case you get any question, comments, or anything concerning the topic of discussion this morning, send a question to 077981981 or go now with Radio Democracy Facebook page and save na YouTube and drop your message. We still get the press secretary na State House, Yusuf Keke Thomas, standing at the program this morning where they discuss some of the reasons them we make President Biyo send back the 2020 Finance Act to Parliament after we not been agreed for sign them. Now let we continue for look at this issue as we just listen to reports from Parliament and the Speaker said don't make and clear they say the President don't send them back the and then the members of Parliament them go through them again. So waiting the President that they ask again, talk or think. But the members of Parliament, them, with the exception of Honorable Tawa, even to the Speaker, we still may give a whole ruling then, pass an act like that one day, and get that kind of clause inside.
Well, I think I need to care for cast aspersion on Parliament because I think say
now the President inviews them. Yes, we want for let people know.
Yes, now they say Parliament is a great institution for we, and I think say a good for the democracy. Now, obviously, there are concerns, there are discussions around accountability, around performance of Parliament, but we not lose sight, say, them play a critical role in terms of our democracy. And part of the lawmaking process, now the fact, say, you get different political parties in the Parliament. And we for also members, say, this now bill will go through Parliament way, because people feel, say, the members of Parliament feel, say, that something way was right for make happen. Now, there are times where like the last time the clerk there, waiting at the problem we'll get, we don't normally get discussion wherein before Chingo Parliament or get public discussions around them back, we go influence the discussion of Parliament. What things them we for improve upon. But the bill don't pass. And the president feels say, there are times where you take decision, we can get different views. At this point in time, presidents feel say, even though they would have been well intended, but in things say it gets a responsibility for make sure say democratic accountability, transparency, and fiscal management of our resources for the, at the core of in leadership. and therefore they tell them say make them put a cap. Now we hope say when they go back, devoid of party politics, devoid of any sentiment, then go look at them and look at what is in the best interest of the country and what the president will achieve.
Is it then go look at them or then go do what in the president want?
Well, I feel say we get separation of powers. Executive they perform their function, parliament they perform their function. President not give instruction to parliament.
I ask this question,
do?
Mr. Sandy.
Yeah.
I ask this question because if the members of parliament where people can vote for go represent them, voice them in parliament, being really look into this law, the bill not for reach now this stage again, outside the people and they say no, this will not want them.
Yes, like I said to you, like every decision, there are sometimes where people like can get very in view. So something will happen 98.1 today. Khadija, you'll get a different view, maybe we'll get a different view. But it don't mean say una two views are wrong. It's just that at this point in time, una disagree on something. But in